definition of the interest rate effect. So how about the international trade effect? What does it mean? So now we are consider the domestic U.S. market. So you see that the changes in the U.S. price level mean the price of the U.S. good change relative to the price of goods from other nations. So that it will affect both import and export. For example, we suppose the U.S. price level increase, so assume all other country price level remain the same, so that the price of the U.S. made goods are now relatively more expensive, so that you can see the export will fall. So in the case, the prices of foreign goods are now relatively cheaper, so that the import rise. The import will rise, so that we see both effects mean that the net export will fall. Yeah, so we can conclude that the international trade effect is related to the net export in the GDP equation. So you see that the slope of our demand curve. You see the price level at the asset as vertical axis, and the real GDP is horizontal axis. So you see at the price at the price of 100, the quantity of our demand is sitting. So you see when the price when the price is when the price level rise from 100 to 110, so you see the quantity of our demand fall from 16 trillion to 15 trillion. So what will happen next? So so this is negative relationship is due to three different effects. So first of all, due to the wealth effect, implies that a lower quantity of consumption see demand because real wealth, so it means the purchasing power of wealth falls at a higher price level. And the second one is due to the interest rate effect, imply a lower quantity of investment demand due to higher interest rate. And the last one, the international trade effect, implies a lower quantity of net exports demand due to relative higher domestic price. So you can see that it affects focus on a different component of our demand. See the practice you hear. You can see the benefit can have a plan. Okay, therefore option now. So which one is correct? So which one is correct? It's very easy. So you can see B is correct answer. Okay. Yeah. So in economy, you see the our demand is affected by manufacturer, is shifted by manufacturer. So for example, when demand for the goods and services at the price level change, so you will see the ID will shift. The ID will shift here. In the shift factor of these four characteristics, you see here. The main categories are consumption, investment, government spending, and net export. So how about the consumption? You see the consumption spending account about 70% of spending in GDP. So you can see the consumption included by change in the real world, general expectation about the future, and changes in taxes. Okay, so you see, yeah, we will plan some possible example. The first example on the stock market rise. For example, if the stock market rise, so the people feel wealthier, and then they buy more goods, and then the consumption rise, and then the ID rise. It means the ID curve was hit to the right. The second reason is the consumer worry about the future. In the second case, the consumer worry about the future. So, and then what would happen at that time? So you can see that, okay, the result is they increase saving and they buy fewer goods and the consumption fall, and then the our demand falls, so that the ID covers it to the left. The last one is the tax increases. So what happens if the tax increase? Okay, if the government impose higher tax rate, and then you see that the income will fall, going fall, and then the people cannot afford to purchase as much as before, and then the consumption fall, and then the ID fall. It means the our demand covers to the left. How about investment? How about investment? The investment uh, shape when the decision maker firm decide to increase or decrease spending on goods and capital goods. So what in the first case, investor confidence. At investor confidence rise, you see the investment will be rise. How about the interest rate? You see that at lower interest rate, you see the investment increases. So how about the quantity of money in the economy? You know, you can see that the more money will lead to the lower interest rate. Okay, so yeah, that is the definition of the investment, and how this how is influenced by the confident interest rate or money supply. So about the government spending. The government spending is the component of our demand that the economic theory has the least to say about. So it's influenced by the government policy. You see, that may or may not be driven by economic concern. So in fact, sometimes the government create policies to counteract the current economic issue, so that there will be so. For example, if the people become more pessimistic about the future, so that the government might decide to spend in a road and highway to offset the decrease in the consumption of investment, to make sure that our demand can increase. Yeah. So it means that if the consumption and from household and the investment from private reduce, so that in this case the government will find a way to stimulate our demand by increase the component C, component G, the government spending. So about the net export. You see that if the foreign nation become wealthier, you see, and then the demand for goods for the good of the U.S. increase, and then the next export increase, so that we can see that our demand increase. So in the case if a foreign nation go into recession, so that demand for the U.S. good decrease, so that the next export decrease, and then our demand also decrease too. So we and what is the other variable affects the net export? So so that is the exchange rate. So what happens if exchange rate change? Yeah. So that the first case, if the value of the U.S. rise, so that you can see the U.S. the United States can buy more import, and other country can buy less the U.S. goods because decrease in export. So if the value of the US falls, so that the United States cannot afford as many imports, so other countries can buy more the US goods, so that increasing the export of the US. So here is the shape of the our demand curve. There is summary of the factor that shape the demand curve. So look at it. Okay. Consumption factor, investment factor, government spending, and net export. Yeah. Did you look at it? Okay. Here the practice. So what you know. Here practice what you know. Which one is correct? To consider just algorithmic curves, suppose the consumption broadly increase across the entire economy. So this will cause. So how about the A? Not correct. How about B? So maybe. Yeah, that's correct. The ID curve is shift to outward. Okay. Yeah, so that B is the correct answer. So you have to distinguish between moving along and from shift in the eddy curve. Yeah, moving along, it means that the eddy curve is not change. It's just only there's a movement along the demand curve. So that is that. So when there is movement along eddy curve. So first of all, we see that we start with the trend in the price level, and then due to the effect of quantity of our demand through the three effects. So for example, the wealth effect and interest rate effect and international trade effects that you can see at that time is the movement along the demand curve. So about the shift in the ID curve. So it occurs when something other than price level change. It means that we keep the price level unchanged. But if there is other factor that make ID change, so that it is the so that the shift in demand curve. So if the factor affect to increase our demand with the price level constant, and then the demand curve will shift to the right. And then if there's any factor that make reduce our demand with constant price level, so then we